Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of creatnprocess. In today's video, we'll look at how you can create retro vintage style text effect in Adobe Illustrator. We'll be creating out this amazing text design using various options in Illustrator. In the previous video, we have seen how you can create a colorful multi-layer retro style text where we have used the fill layers in multiple layers to create out this effect. And after that, we have used the stroke layers to create out this vintage style text. And after that, we have used the same techniques and create out this block text effect with a nice pattern which is easily resizable. In this tutorial, we'll be looking at how you can create a 80s style retro text using the same technique, but we'll be looking at how you can add two strokes to your design. We'll be adding the grading color, and then we'll add some grain effect to the text. Later, we'll be creating out some complex design using some tools and options in Illustrator, and we'll use the same concept and create out this complex style text effect with the vectors in the background. So let's begin with the designing process. So the first thing we're going to do is to create out this design. So to create out this design, let's type out the text. So text tool and type out your text, retro, and the font which we have used for this design is a sky blue. So if you don't have it, you can download it. So here is a retro text. Now let's apply the color. So then we'll follow the same process which we have done in the previous tutorial. So let's remove the fill color and go to appearance, and under that apply a fill color. So here let's choose gradient color. So if you want to apply gradient, here you can pick the gradient color, any gradient color you like. And after that, to edit the gradient color, select the gradient tool, and here's our gradient tool. So we'll keep it perpendicular like this, and let's change the color. So I have got the color palette over here. This is the gradient color, this is for the strokes and the background and the shadow. So I'll also show you the color code as we go along. So let's fill up the color. First, let's remove all these in between color sliders, and let's apply the color. So the first top color, so double click over here, and I'll choose some red color, dark red color, and I'll go to HSB here, HSB, and here you can set the tone. So I'll just make it darker and little fader, like little faded, dark tone, something like that, little more reddish tone like that. And for the second one, I'll just go there and choose some red color from here, and then I'll go to HSB to adjust the shades. So I want to make it a little fader over here. You can make it fade, and you can also increase the darkness or adjust the colors over here. So I want to give it something like this and a little more fader, little bit of reddish tone like that as per your requirement. So I think this is good. I pick it. So I just pick the color, and with the gradient tool I'll just adjust the color direction. So click and drag with the shift press to apply it perpendicularly. So once you have applied the gradient color, the next step we're gonna do is to add these strokes. So as you can see, we have got two strokes over here. So let's apply the first stroke. So for the first stroke, we already have the stroke options over here. Let's apply the color. So you can apply any color from here, but I'm going to pick the same color which I have applied earlier. So this is the color. If you check it out over here, the color code is here. You can use this color code 761C1D. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just select this, go over here, selecting that stroke, and with the eyedropper tool, with the shift pressed, I'll just pick the color. So here is our dark brown color, and the text is given 1 pixel. You can give more. I think for this design I will give 1 pixel. And now let's add under text for the white. So for this, what I'll do is I'll just create under duplicate of it, and I'll place it below our fill color. And for that, let's change the color. So let's change it to white and increase the pixel to around 2. Let's see. Okay, so let's increase it to 3, and done. So we got our white border and the dark border. The two strokes have been made. Now let's apply these depth and the shadow. So it's the same process we have done earlier. I'll just duplicate this one more time, and for this I'll change the color with the shift press. I'll just pick this dark color, and with the transform tool, so I'll go to distort transform option, and here preview it. Let's give a -1/1. By doing this, I'm adjusting the direction. If I give 1 pixel over here, you see it goes on the right side. I want it on the left side, so I just given 1 pixel and preview it. So let's increase the copies over here. Here it is. If you want to make it more smoother, what you can do is 0.5, and here also 0.5, and click OK. So here's our thickness. So here's the thickness and the thickness. So we can reduce it a little bit more. So I'll go to transform, and here let's reduce it to 6. Let's preview it, and I think this much thickness is fine. If you want to see more in-depth tutorial on this option, this transform option, you can go and check out our previous tutorial, the first part of this series, where we have used this option fully in depth and created out multiple options of designs. So go and check out our previous tutorial if you want to know about this option. And now let's add the shadow. So I'll just create under duplicate of the stroke, place it down, or maybe I'll just use this downward layer and change the color to something bright. So I'll just pick the color with the eyedropper. I pick that color, and let me show you the color code. So for this dark brown, the color I have used is this one. The color code is 52090A, and for this light skin tone, the color code I have used is DAA 483. So using this color code, you can get the same effect which I have created over here. So I'll go over here again, layer, or maybe the appearance panel, and let's increase the transform. So here preview it, and let's increase it to, let's say, 12, and let's check it out how it looks. And we can increase a little bit more, 13 and 14. So 14 is good. Let's leave it like this. Lastly, let's add that grain texture to the text. So I'll select this text, I'll select the fill layer, and I'll go to effect, texture, grain, and this will apply it only to the text. If you select the whole text and go to effect, stylize, texture and grains, it will apply it to the whole text. But what we need over here is we need to apply it only to the surface of the text. So I'll select this fill layer, just this fill layer, and go to effect, texture, grains, and this will apply only to the surface. And for this, let's adjust the intensity. So if you want to increase the intensity, you can increase or decrease it. I'll set it around 20, 22, 5, like that. And contrast, I'll give it around 40. So I'll keep it like that, and here we go. We have added that nice grain texture as well as the gradient, and added that 2 layer strokes to the design. And this is how you can create some text like this. You can edit it anytime. This is editable, so you can just edit it anytime like that. So like that. Now the next thing we're going to create is this text, and for creating this kind of text effect, which is a little complex, we have to convert it into fill object, because in Illustrator, if you have a fill object, you can do lots of things. The options, there are multiple number of options, and you can use it freely to create some interesting and most complicated designs. For this text, I'm going to convert it into fill object and then apply the effects. So, and one thing that's important over here is that it's not editable, so you can't edit it later on. It's one time. So before you start the process, think of the word, the design, the text you want to apply. So you have to type out your text first, decide which word you're going to use, and then apply the font, your favorite font that you want to give, and then convert it into fill object. So for now, what I'll do is I'll just type out a text first. So SARIF, serif, and for this I'm going to use this font. So with the eye picker tool, I just pick this text, and the text I'm going to using is Lobster 13 regular. So I'm going to use this font for this, scale up the size, and I'm fine with it. So this is the text I want to create, and this is the font I want to use. You have to be clear about this at this step. If you want to change it now. Now once you convert it into fill object, you can't go back. So I'll go to a right click and create outlines, and this will convert this into fill object. As you can see, you got the outlines and you can't edit it now. Now the next step is to create these effects. So let's follow these steps and you'll be able to create some amazing designs. So first thing we're gonna create is to create the outline. So I'll convert this into white color for the first design. So I'll convert into white color, as you can see, white. And now let's add a border. So to add a border, I'll go to object, path, and offset path. And here in the preview option, you can see it's inside, I want it outside. So 2 pixel is fine for me, so I'll keep 2 pixel and click OK, and this will add a like new surface on the outside. Let's change it to black color, and here we go, we got a nice border. Now what we need is we need under border inside. So I'll select our main design like that. Let's ungroup it and select these design text here and go to object, path, offset path, and here for this I want it inside, so I'll add -2 pixel and click OK. And here's our new outline, which is inside 2 pixel. Let's add a stroke thickness. So let's change the color to black and apply it to the stroke and give it 1 pixel like that. And we have added that nice 1 pixel over here. So this outline is done. Now as you can see, all these shapes are separate. So if you want to apply something like subtract, intersect, or combine, or something, a few more options in Pathfinder, you can't apply it. So what you can do is you can convert them into compound objects. So what you can do is select all the shapes you want to make into a compound shape. So select all of them and go to object, compound path, and make. So this will make it into one compound object. Now let's create that parallel design. So to create that, we'll use the line segment tool. Just click and drag a line segment tool with a shift press, make a horizontal line and give it a stroke thickness. So I'll give it around 0.2 pixel, so 0.2 pixel, or maybe 0.3 pixel. Okay, and I'll place this somewhere around here, and I'll create under duplicate. With the Alt press, click and drag it down and place underline over here. For this, let's give some thickness similar to this. So let's give a thickness around, let's say 3. Okay, it's huge, so I'll give it around 2, and I think 2 is good. Or if you want to reduce a little bit more, you can give in points as well, 1.7 or 1.8. so it depends on your file size. So make sure if your file size is a little bigger than me, you have to choose larger pixels. Now let's select these line segments and we'll go to object, blend, make, and this will make a blending shapes. And now to adjust the number of blending shapes over here, we'll double click on the blend tool, double click on it, and here you got a blending option attribute panel. Choose specific steps and let's reduce the number of parallel lines. So here I'm reducing the number of parallel lines and you can check it out over here. So adjust it according to your requirement like this, and I'll click OK. So here we go. Now let's map it to the design. So to map it, what I'll do is I'll select our background, this object, create a copy of it, Ctrl C for future use, and I'll select this. But before that, select these lines and convert them into compound path, because these are not objects right now. So first I'll go to object, expand them, click OK, then object, expand them. And right now, as you can see, it's in stroke form. I'll convert into fill object, and now all of them are fill object. Now I'll just ungroup it and we'll combine them. So I'll go to object, compound path, and make. Now this is compound path, our line is compound path. So when you apply a Pathfinder options, it will apply very easily. By chance, let's say you haven't made it into compound path. Let's say you have converted it into fill object. So let's convert them into fill object, expand, and we'll convert it to fill object. So this is the step where I have just convert them into fill object. So if you want to apply pathfinder, let's do it. Let's select this one and selecting this one, and if I apply intersect, it will not function. The filter produced no result. Please select two overlapping path. So this is not working. Let's say this is, I'll just ungroup it now and I'll make it into compound. So I'll go to object, compound path and make, and now this is a compound path. Our background, the shape is also in compound path. Now if I apply intersect, you see it intersect that object design into our text, and all these options are functioning. So if you're making some design similar to this where you are intersecting two complex structure, the first step you're gonna do is to convert them into compound fill object, and then only you can select those two objects and apply the pathfinder options. So this is how we have created. Now let's paste that copy of that outline there. So control or command F and you got that outline, and what we need to do next is to add that drop shadow effect, and it's very simple. I'll create one more duplicate of this. Command F, paste in front, and I'll change to fill color, and I'll create another duplicate of it. So with the Alt press, click and drag it down, something like this. This is the depth we are going to see over here. So use your arrow keys to adjust the position like that, and select these two, and we'll use this minus front from the back. So this is the minus option. I'll just click on it and it will subtract the top object from our back design, and here you got a nice drop shadow effect over here, thicker. If you want to reduce it a little bit more, you can just use the mouse arrow key and select them both, and then again apply minus front option, and you got that nice drop shadow effect over there. Now the next step we're going to do is to create this falling depth. So to create that, we'll select the background layer. So background black object, select for all the text like this, then merge them first. So combine them using the pathfinder option, unite them, and this we have to arrange it to back. So with the command pressed, click open square bracket to arrange it to back, and with the Alt press, create another duplicate of it, place it somewhere around here, select them both, and you can go to object, blend and make, or you can go over here, blend tool, double click on it, or maybe just select the blend tool, and you got this option. First click on your first object, and then when you see the plus sign, click on the second object and it will blend. Now I'll go double click on the attribute panel, preview it, specific steps, and here it's just one. Let's increase it to multiple numbers, so to make it parallel straight line. So I'll give it around 65 and click OK. So here we go, and this is outline. Let's convert this into fill object. So I'll go to object, expand them first, and then unite them, and this will convert it into single fill object. So our outline is done. We have added that nice drop shadow, we have given that parallel texture to it, and let's adjust the color tone. So let's choose, I'll select this. With the eye picker tool, I just pick this color. I'm applying some gray color. So the color code is this one, 414042, and we'll apply it to all the black surface we can see. So select this. With the eye picker, I'll apply it, and for this stroke option, this stroke, I'll select that now. Let's select it, and with the eye picker tool, with the shift press, just pick the color. But before that, make sure that your stroke option is selected, the stroke color, and then only pick the color and it will apply to the strokes. So here we go, we have created that nice 3D looking text effect, vintage text effect in Illustrator. While creating this, we have seen some new techniques and new tools and options to create this effect. Now we'll use the same techniques, tools and options to create out this complicated design. Let's see how you can create this effect. So to create this effect, let's bring this around here. I'll just bring it so that I can see where I'm working on. So let's begin. So the first step we're going to do is to type out our text. So it's very important that you already know what you want for your design. So for now, what I need is med, and I'll apply the text. This one, this is the Chomp Sky text. So I'll just copy it, select it, and over here Command V, paste Chomp Sky, and here's our text. I'll just scale this up, something similar to this, and let's reduce the spacing. So go to character and let's reduce the spacing just to make it something like this. Okay, so once you have reduced your spacing and once you're ready with your text, now convert them into outline strokes. It's the simple step, just converting into outline strokes. Now for this design, as you can see, we have an outline, then we got this thickness, then so 1, 2, 3. So we got 3 layers of lines, and in the previous one we have just created, we have just used 2 options like 1 and 2. So there was only 2 division. For this we need 3. So we'll use the opposite path option 3 times to create that effect. So first, let's change the color to white. So I'll change it to white, click OK, and now I'll go to Object, Path, and Opposite Path, and here apply outline stroke. So first 2 pixel out and click OK, and change the color to black. Now for the second one, we'll make it inside. We'll select this one, ungroup it, let's select the texts and go to Object, Path, Outline Stroke, let's make it inside, -2. Okay, and click OK. Let's apply black color to this and apply to the stroke, and we need this very thin, so let's keep it around 0.5 pixel. Let's see. Okay, so I think this looks good. We can make it a little more thinner, but it looks fine. Now select these inner shapes, these, and we'll apply one more opposite path option. So Object, Path, Opposite Path, and this time again -2, and click OK. And this time let's increase the thickness. So we'll increase the stroke thickness. So I'll increase it to 1. Let's see. And this looks good. So here you can see we have added 3 layers of stroke lines, 1, 2, 3, using the path opposite path. If you want to create something like this with a complicated structure, you can use the opposite path to give multiple layers of like borders. Now the next thing we're gonna do is to add this parallel line to our design, and to create that we'll follow the same steps as we have done in the previous design. So I'll select the line segment tool, and from where I want it, I'll just draw out a horizontal line. So from here I'll just click and drag and create a horizontal line just like that, and let's give it a stroke thickness. So I want something thin, so let's give it around, let's say 3. Let's check it out, and we can increase it if you need it a little more thicker. So I'll give it around 4. I think 4 is fine, and let's drag it down with the Alt press, drag it down until the end, and for this we'll give some stroke thickness. So I'll keep it around 1. Let's check it out, or maybe a little bit more, 1.5, and let's see. So I think this thickness is fine. So I select these 2 strokes, and I'll go to Object, Blend, Make, and using the blending option attributes, we'll select the specify steps and reduce the spacing. So let's just reduce it so that we can see over here. So around something like that, and I'll click OK. Now let's apply it. So first thing, we need to select these inner outlines text and convert them into compound fill. So I'll just select them and go to Object, Compound Path, and Make, and this has converted into compound object. Now we'll do the same step for this one as well. So I'll just select this, first convert them into objects, fill objects. So I'll expand them and click OK. Again expand them to convert them into fill object, and then ungroup it and go to object, compound path, make, and this will convert them into a compound path. Now I'll select this. Before that, I'll select this one, make a copy of it, command or control C to copy, and we'll select this and go to pathfinder and intersect, and this way we got a nice parallel line to our design. I'll just command or control F to paste our previous outline shape, and here we go. We have added a nice parallel line to our design and giving that much detailed look, so it's looking great. Now let's add that depth of field, so let's select these and just unite them and arrange them to back with the command and open square bracket, arrange them to back, and with the Alt pressed, I'll just create one more duplicate and place it somewhere around here. This is the thickness, so just check it out how much thickness you want to give, around this much maybe, and select these two and apply blend. So just click on the first one, then on the second one, and double click on it and increase the specify steps. So let's increase it to make it smoother. Let's increase it around 100. Okay, and now let's expand them to convert into fill object and unite them, something like that, and this will convert this into one single object. Now our text is almost ready. Now we can do one more thing. We can add these nice parallel line and this parallel details. So to create that, what we'll do is we'll create few more parallel lines. So just create a parallel line on top, give it a stroke thickness around 0.3 and create one more duplicate of it and place it on down and give it 1.8, enter. Or as you can see, these are single thickness, so we can give it the same thickness, 1 and the 0.3 or maybe 0.5. 0.5 is fine. I'll select this top one as well and give it 0.5 like that, and select these parallel lines, go to object, blend, make, double click on the blend option and adjust the specify steps. So let's reduce it, something like that, giving that parallel gap as well, and click OK. If you're done with it, click OK. So we got that parallel line, and if you want to increase it, let's increase it a little bit more. Let's give it around 85, 84, fine. And now I'll just convert them. So I'll just expand it, convert to fill object, again object, expand, click OK. So we got that nice parallel line. I'll just create another duplicate of it just to make sure we can use it in the future. And now select background shape, command C and command F, then select this and intersect. But as you can see, so as you know, the problem is very simple. Well, I forgot to change this parallel lines into compound fills. So I just ungroup it first and go to object, compound path and make, and this has converted into compound shape. And now when I select this and intersect them, it will intersect like that. And I'll just drag it down, shift 1 like that. I'll just arrange them to back. So with the command pressed, open square bracket, arranging them to back, something like that. And now let's add one more parallel line similar to this. So what I'll do is I'll just change the angle, something like that, something which is parallel to the text, place it here, create under duplicate and place it somewhere around here, and making sure that the spacing is constant. And now selecting them both, ungroup them and object, compound path, make. And now I'll select that background shape, create a copy, command C, command F, and then select this one and intersect them. And this time I'll just place it below, something like that. So it looks great. I'll arrange it to back, shortcut, command and open square bracket. And to make sure our text is highlighted, we'll reduce the opacity for both. So select them both and reduce the opacity around, let's say 70. And this will give you that nice look to your design. You can just select them and do the position adjustment, something like that. So it gives you that interesting looking design in the background. And now overall I think the adjustment of the text is done. What I'll do next is I'll select everything, group them up, and then we'll give that nice angular tilt, little bit of adjustment with the flow of the text. So select them both and go to Object, Envelope Distort, Make with Wrap, and over here we'll choose the option, this one, Rise, and let's adjust the blending %. So we'll keep it very subtle, around this much. That's fine, 14 or 15, let's see. Okay, so click OK, and here we go. We have given that nice subtle flow to your design. And now let's add the backgrounds, this one. So these backgrounds are just the vectors which we can download it from anywhere. First of all, let's just open this up, and here we go. And now I'll just object expand it just to remove that effect, and our text is independent. Now let's add that background design. So to bring that, what I'll do is I'll open this. Here are some options. So here I have added this one, so I'll just open this in Illustrator, open with Illustrator, and these are free vector shapes which you can download it from the web. So I'll just drag this in, place it somewhere around here, and I'll just go in there. I can delete this and delete this, and I'll change the color to something gray. Okay, and place it at the back. So scale it up, okay, and arrange them to back, okay, like that. I'll reduce the opacity something like 80. Well, you can also add some vectors from a symbol library. So open your symbol attribute panel, and here open symbol, and you can check out lots of options over here. A regular vector back, and in this option you got some vectors, nice simple vectors. So I'll just choose this one and bring it over here. As you can see, this one I have used that, so I'll just change the angle, something like that, and scale down the size, and I'll just place it somewhere around here and arrange it to back. Okay, and I'll reduce the opacity so that it blends with our design. And later I have added these pointed circle which I have created using the line segment tool. So just create a line segment, give a stroke thickness, and change the stroke to something pointed. And what I'll do is I'll just rotate it. So with the rotate tool that is set in the center, with the Alt press, just give one rotation, a little bit like that, and with the command Control D, repeat this copy and until you make a full circle, and then select everything, group them up, reduce the opacity, and place it at the back. Arrange it to back, and I'll place one around here, scale down the size a little bit and place it somewhere around here, and one around here, like that. So as you can see, it's very simple to create and very easy to put the vectors. If you want to add more parallel lines to this or this, what you can do is I'll just copy a duplicate of this, command C, and bring it out, command V, and to give that parallel line, let's rotate this shape like that, similar to that, and I'll just select this shape, object, expand, okay, convert into fill object. And as you can see, this is a single object, so you don't need to make them into compound objects. So it's already done. I think this one you have to make it a compound. So object, expand, ungroup, and object, compound path, make, select this, intersect, and reduce the opacity to around 40, something like that. And this way you can apply a parallel line to any vector you like and give some cool effect to your design. And now lastly, to add a background texture, what you can do is you can import any texture from the web. So I got this texture which is a wall texture, so just place it around here. Let's scale down the size and place it around here, And after that, let's say I'll just draw out a rectangle, something similar to this, to fill up the area. And let's apply something visible color, then select that and make clipping mask. Now this is in our design. I'll just make sure they are nicely placed, the borders are fine, and I'll arrange it to back like that. Now to blend the text to our background, what we can do is we can select all the vector shapes, group them up, and go to opacity and change the blend mode to multiply, and let's see. So here we go, we have added that nice blending shapes. You can reduce the opacity of our background, just select them and reduce the opacity, something like this, so that we can see just a visible part of it. And here we go, we have created this nice complex text effect using the various options in Illustrator. These kinds of designs are not editable because you need to use all the tools options in Illustrator, and that's not possible with the text tools. So with the text tool you have some limitations which you can create like this and this, but if you want to create something very complicated with lots of vectors, details, and the depth and complicated structure, you need to convert them into fill object, and then you got lots of options and tools that you can use to create your design perfect. So finally, we have completed creating this vintage text effect in Adobe Illustrator. We have seen how you can create a retro text effect, late 80s style, using very simple techniques. We have used the appearance panel to create and added a nice texture and a gradient to it. Later, we have seen how you can create a complex style, a vintage text effect in Illustrator using the by converting them into fill object and using various options like offset path, compound fill, and other stuff. And lastly, we have used the same technique and created out this complex text effect where we have created every single piece using the options and tools and added a vector in the background. In the next video, we're gonna look at how you can create 3D retro text effect in Adobe Illustrator. We'll be exploring few 3D text design and create it using various options and tools in Illustrator. So don't forget to check out the next tutorial coming up, and if you want more updates on designing, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.